Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Damon, this is Dame Over, and it's just a quick one today in Apex Legends to talk about what I think is the biggest problem with the game at the moment. Now, I'm going to show you some of the clips that I got from last night, and this is something that's been going on for a little while, and I was hoping would have been patched by now, but unfortunately it hasn't been. Now, I've not played Apex for 5 or 6 days now because I've been making videos on Battlefield 5, getting footage on that, and I was struggling because of this issue, and unfortunately it is one that's affecting lots of players, and it is a connection issue. There are lots of latency problems, and the reason for it is that there are no region locks in Apex Legends. None at all. You could be playing someone from across the other side of the planet, which unfortunately has some issues as far as connection goes. The rule of thumb being that the further away you are from a player, the less stable the connection's going to be. Simply because of the nature of how the internet works. That information has to travel through wires, has to travel to satellites. Actually traveling that distance with the information takes some time. And I noticed these issues last week when I was playing. There's lots of stutter issues and it keeps getting worse and worse, unfortunately. And playing last night kind of highlighted those issues even more. And I feel like this is potentially going to put a lot of players off. It's a far less attractive prospect, especially in a battle royale, if you're being killed because of latency issues. Each of your teammates only has the one life, in theory, before you end up having to search for a new game. Having lag being the reason that you die is understandably incredibly frustrating. Now, when you first started the game up, you could choose what servers you were going to connect to. I've obviously connected to the ones in London, as I live in London, so those are the closest ones, and I think that's the best one for the UK. But this, unfortunately, doesn't stop other players from other countries connecting to the UK servers and using them, which, as I said before, is going to cause some lag because of the distance. So just to give you some examples of footage that I got, and you can see what is going on with the gameplay. So there's this clip here. I'm watching this doorway because I know the player's going to come through it. He pops into the doorway, and just as I'm about to pull the trigger, I notice he's managed to magically warp an extra 2 feet to the right-hand side, which means I need to line up my shots again, and I missed the first few. Now, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is a Twitch shooter after all, and getting the drop on your opponents and making sure you're hitting your targets as soon as possible is very, very important to staying alive and staying in the game and hopefully getting that win. So me having to spend that extra half a second readjusting my aim and not being able to hit the target was the reason that he melted me so much, because I couldn't output as much damage as he could, simply because the lag made him not be where he should have been. Respawn Entertainment are very aware of the latency issues. I'm sure you guys have experienced it yourself, where especially in the early game after you land, it stutters a lot. It's very difficult to run around and pick up loot. So hopefully there are extra patches to come which will help stabilize everything, but I think without region locking, we're going to still experience the same issues that I'm talking about over and over again. Now, as much fun as it is to play people from across the other side of the world, it's one of the amazing things about multiplayer online gaming. I'd much rather only play people within Europe or within the UK, and I'm sure you guys from North America would only play those people in North America, and same goes for Australia or other regions as well, as long as the connection was far more stable. Personally, I'd rather have a much more trustworthy and consistent experience even if the player base was far smaller, but I'm sure with a game like Apex Legends that hit over 50 million players earlier this month, we wouldn't struggle with having different players in every single lobby. Now, I'm pretty disappointed by this. I absolutely love Apex Legends. I think it's one of my favourite games over the past 5 years, and unfortunately I'm getting put off by the connection issues. I've got almost no complaints whatsoever with any other aspect of the game, but if it's a multiplayer game, it needs to work consistently, it needs to be stable, otherwise the whole premise doesn't work at all. But like I said before, hopefully this gets fixed really quickly. Now, I'm on Xbox One, so this might just be an Xbox One issue. It might be a console-only issue, so if you're on PS4 or you're on PC, I'd like to hear from you guys if you've had similar issues or any other connection issues. It'd be good to hear what the player base is thinking and how they're feeling about it. So make sure you jump in the comments, and I'm going to say a very quick thank you to my Dame Operatives, those of you guys supporting the channel through Patreon. It's because of you guys I'm able to make content as often as I do, and hopefully I'll be able to do some more in the near future with a little bit more support. So if you want to become a Dame Operative yourself, there's a link in the description and the pinned comment. If you had a good time, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new around here, hit the sub button so you can keep up to date with more content, and hit that bell button as well so you don't miss out on any future posts. And as always, share this video wherever you like. Until next time, that's Dame Over. Peace.